सिलिकॉन वैली, बेंगलोर और पुणे में बैठकर आईटी कंपनी के संचालन की बात करते थे, वो तमिलनाडु के गांव में ले गए जो वो स्कूल, और ऐसे लोग जिनको जो मूल शिक्षा प्रतिबंधित थे उन्हें शिक्षित कर इस आईटी के क्षेत्र में उन्हें रोजगार उपलब्ध कराया। ग्वालियर की धरा आपका स्वागत करती है और आपको सुनना चाहती है माननीय श्रीधर बम्बू जी।
Thank you very much. I am sorry I have to speak in English today. Otherwise, I can only speak Tamil. First, I want to thank Sundaramji, our national leader for Swadeshi Children Month, and he has been my associate for a while, and we have talked about our Swadeshi economics issues for a while, and I want to thank him for inviting me here. And I want to also thank the Minister for listening to me today. And I also want to thank all the assembled dignitaries here. The topic that I am very passionate about, and the reason I have the company, Zoho Corporation, is that we import all the critical technologies our nation needs, and we also simultaneously face unemployment, underemployment for large amount of our youth. So we face both problems. We import critical technologies and products. For example, everything in our smartphones, all of these cameras, all of these LED lights, a lot of the critical technologies are imported today. Often from countries that are not very favorably disposed to us. And our own youth, particularly our rural youth, large number of them, face underemployment and unemployment, and often very low wages. These two are not two separate problems. These two are the same problem. When we buy a lot more than we sell, we become poor. That is the only rule of economics that I know. We keep buying more than we sell, we become indebted and we become poor. And this much is obvious, yet it is not very obvious to a lot of fancy economists who often advise. This is a very basic thing. Anybody runs a house, a family, a housewife, everybody knows this rule. If we buy a lot more than we sell, we become poor. And in our case, it's not just we buy more than we sell, that is a trade deficit, we call it in economics. It's also that we buy critical technologies for which in many cases we don't have the know-how or the expertise within our country. And we have the brain power, but we often export that brain power. And that brain power becomes CEOs in foreign countries, and we celebrate that too. So we export very critical talent from our country, and that talent should be creating a lot more jobs in our country. But we are freely gifting the talent to other countries so that they can go and create jobs in other countries. That is in a nutshell, that is our economic problem for us. So what is the solution? And I can name the critical technologies I mentioned. Smartphones, 4G, 5G networks now, the computers, the medical equipment. If you go to the hospital, 80% of the technologies in our hospitals are imported. And this is true across any critical technology. And the last few weeks I've been visiting a lot of factories in the Coimbatore region in Tamil Nadu. Manufacturing factories. It's a very important manufacturing region. one of the top 3 regions in India, and there is a lot of migrant workers from other parts of India there. In fact, in that region now, a lot of the shops carry Hindi signs because there's so many migrants from north to work at the factories, all of that. It's a very prosperous belt in Tamil Nadu. And yet, if you look at the technologies used in production, the machine tools, most of them are imported. And they are very, very expensive machines. Machines that cost 5 crores, 10 crores, 15 crores, those types of machines. Robots, all those types of machines, most of them are imported. And to go from our current situation to the next level, we have to build all these technologies. All of the technologies we use in our nation, we must build those technologies. We must have the know-how in all of those critical technologies. That is the primary reason. I actually started this company. No. My mission, I myself went and got a PhD degree from Princeton University, but then I realized that I can solve my personal problem, but our national problem is much bigger, and I want to help solve that problem. And so I decided that we must set up this company in India, and we must build sophisticated software. All the software we use in our own country, and that is what led to this company. Even more important, the way we build this software, we don't actually hire people with fancy degrees, whether it's IITs or IIMs. We actually go to humble colleges, often high schools, and we go to rural areas. Majority of our employees cannot speak English fluently. And we take them, and we train them in software development, and we then let them enable them to compete with global companies, whether it's Microsoft or Google. We are now competing in many critical areas of software. And that we are able to do from a rural district called Tenkasi. Tenkasi in Tamil translates as Dakshin Kashi. It tells about the integration of our country, that I live in a small village in a district, Jilla, that is, the name of the district now is Tenkasi, Dakshin Kashi. And there is a very nice Vishwanath temple in our town. And that Vishwanath temple for a long time, until recently, was much bigger than the mandir in Kashi itself. But now, of course, our government now, we have built a much bigger temple in Kashi, but the Tenkasi, Dakshin Kashi has a very nice Vishwanath temple. So, and we also have Shivakashi, and there is one of the business people here in this. Shivakashi is another town that is 100 kilometers away. And all these towns are inspired, of course, by Kashi. And these are 2,000 kilometers away. It tells you about the integration of our country, that we have all this. All these places, we are now building technology. We have now 500 employees, engineers, in Tenkasi district, where we are the largest private sector employer now in the district. And our jobs, software jobs, are actually critical technology jobs. Our average salary, monthly salary, is over 1 lakh per month. Because these jobs, our employees, they build software that supply many global companies. For example, Benz and Tesla in the US, a lot of them are our customers for the products we build in Tenkasi. And those products are built by rural talent who, most of them, studied in Tamil medium schools. Many of them did not go to college at all, and yet they are able to build this software. This is what I want to spread across our country. Because this is one district. We have over 800 districts like this in our country. Most of them need those opportunities.